So a lot of you may have heard about that new movie that came out called Bikeriders with Tom Hardy and that butler guy who played Elvis Presley, which I didn't go see that because I already knew it was gonna be a flop. I didn't have very high expectations for this film because Hollywood doesn't seem to really execute bike culture all that well in their movies. And in some ways, I know they try to romanticize it in a way, but it gives it a bad look. And I don't know if that's done on purpose or not. I'm about to get into what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. And at the end of all this, if y'all stick around, I'll do a quick reenactment and a summary of what this film really consisted of. Because it is rather easy to sum it up in a few seconds, so stay tuned for my reenactment at the end of this video. I just gotta say this right away. The guy who played Benny, the main character, the Elvis Presley butler, I'm sure I'll remember his name at some point recording this, but I know it's like something Butler. However, they obviously put him in there. I just feel like they put him in there for women because I thought he did a terrible job. And when I mean terrible. Like, the whole film is just him smoldering at the camera. Every time he talked, every time the camera was on him. And they even filmed him at an angle, so there'd be a conversation between him and someone else. When they're filming the person he's talking to, it's a straight on shot. But when they're filming him, it's at an angle, so he has this like smoldering look. And so like with the camera down, his eyebrows, and he does the eye thing. And I can imagine they put him there so like the wives will come along and there's an extra ticket bought because, you know, all the women love him. Oh man, I want to say Gerald Butler, but Gerald Butler is someone totally else who's actually a really good actor. I will remember his name. Oi. Probably should have did a little bit more research before recording this. Anyways, but Tom Hardy did a really good job. I thought he played Johnny. He played his character really well, and I am like, that was well executed. Now don't get me wrong, there were some moments that were good in the film. Just a few, but I'm not about to spoil nothing. I'm not some, bike club, motorcycle club know-it-all. I know very little just from being around the culture and things that people have told in me, but I really do think there was a Sonny character that comes in, and I really do think that was supposed to be Sonny Barger, who originated Hell's Angels, because of the colors he had on the back of his jacket. It wasn't Hell's Angels, but it was something like something Devils or something. So, and he looked, had the big hair and whatnot. But yeah, that was, something like if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. But overall, the movie moved really slow. There wasn't in my opinion, a significant plot to it. It's just, it was slightly made in like a documentary style, I guess, with that still movie actionness to it. I did like Benny's girlfriend, the chick, her accent. She had a really cool, interesting, distinct accent.
Boy, who's that good-looking guy over at the pool table?
Oh, Kathy, you don't want to go out with him.
Why not? They don't look like the rest of these animals.
But I know that's not really, really construcive to the plot line. I do wish that since they made a movie about, the whole motorcycle club life and whatnot, I do wish that they put a little bit more attention to why guys join it. The only way they really brushed over it was saying, hey, I like bikes, you like bikes, let's start a bike club. That's pretty much as far as they went into it, but they didn't really discuss why guys join clubs. Not like why they start one, but why they join existing ones. Why is that pull to it? And I do think, that could have made the storyline a little bit more in-depth. And the ending wasn't all that interesting. It really wasn't. It was, the whole movie just moved slow. So the ending was kind of just, I was like, oh, okay. And I feel like I'm just talking smack about it. I just thought it was really silly that Butler guys who they chose, I feel like they should have chose someone else. And also, if you're gonna go see the movie, there was this one scene where they're like having it's nighttime and a fire and whatnot, and Johnny, the main, the leader of the Vandals, wants to talk to Benny, the butler guy, in private. So they step aside, and they're having this conversation about Benny taking over the Vandals and whatnot. The way they filmed that scene, they were standing so close to each other, and this was a really long scene. They were standing so close to each other that I just thought, dude, in any moment, they're about to kiss, and this movie is about to take a whole 180 and become a corn movie, if you know what I mean. With the filming aspect and the aesthetics, they did film some nice shots, I will say. Without spoiling nothing, when that younger generation comes around, I will say I did inside was kind of like, oh man, screw them. You know, I'm not about to spoil nothing, but one thing I did like is that they slightly kind of covered the older generation of, you know, bike clubs and the newer ones, where the newer ones were a little bit more wild and more aggressive. So, you know, there was some truth to that, but not all bike clubs are like that. So now let me show you my quick reenactment of the whole movie without spoiling nothing. This is only gonna take a few seconds. I like motorcycles. You like motorcycles. Let's start a motorcycle club so we can sit around and talk about motorcycles. Oh, and that's Benny. I'm Benny. I don't say much. Benny, I'd like you to take over the club. No one does it like you. You hear me, man? Benny, these new, younger folks coming into the club, man, they're wild. You can't control them. They're crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do.